back.
We're back.
My name is Jake McKenna, and to my left this week, an older man on the panel who's the biggest fan of the iPhone. It's my little brother Joe. How are you, boy?
Yes, I have some exciting features from the iPhone that I'm ready to share with you.
Oh,
How
it
exciting.
sounded a little bit like a question, didn't it? That I'm excited to share with you. And to my right, coming in at 6'1", as he does each and every week, it's the baby brother of the pack who we call Junior Boy. Junior Boy, how are you?
I've got a fun story about a catch that me and Joe encountered a couple of weeks ago.
Excited to hear it. We've got a hack. We've got a cat story. We're also going to look back on our footy predictions from the beginning of the season and see just how wrong we are.
Very, very.
Plus, speaking of phones, we've got a MacPhone. Big news regarding that.
Dang.
And this week's Everyday Hero is going to a grand finalist who ended up winning the hearts of everyone on
Let's
the day.
go.
Boys, it's a massive ep. Let's get into it. Boys.
Brother
How
Mingo.
are we all well?
I am very excited because I discovered this new iPhone hack in the Photos app.
That's huge.
That's right. As we all know, I've been down south, living it up, and I've been birding.
Oh, you has. That's right. This is
And
this
by
is a very-
birding, most people would use the word birding as like on the prowl, looking for a mate.
Joey's always on the prowl.
But Joe was looking at literal birds.
Yes, I was. And Riley's got his budgie shirt on.
Tweet, tweet.
Fantastic.
One I
in
prepared
theme.
earlier.
Did you buy that for him, or is that just happenstance?
It's a happenstance.
Nice.
Prance,
Oh.
if you will. What
So-
type of bird is this, Joe?
It looks like could be a budgie, could be a parrot.
Maybe you could tell us at the end of this
This segment. So obviously with birding, one of the famous things is have a book of the birds.
Okay.
You look at the bird and then you look at your book. That's sort of how it works.
You try and find what type of bird it is.
Yep, exactly. So there's a lot of fantastic birds in Australia.
That's huge.
So we're out there. I'm taking photos with my camera. I'm also using the big zoom on my iPhone.
All right.
Of course, is great. And then I noticed a feature that I hadn't noticed before. I take a photo of a bird, and there's a little icon down here with a picture of a bird. What? There's a little icon down here. Okay, that one just says an eye. This one, see, picture of a bird, right?
Okay, yeah.
If I tap this,
Tough time for it not to work.
tap it,
Yeah.
takes me to this page. It says, look up bird. I says, press look up bird. It tells me what the bird is.
Right.
Whoa.
So this-
19-year-old brunette in the area. That's
yeah. So that one
That's
was a
Tinder,
kingfisher.
Joe.
This is another one. This is one of my favorites of the locals.
That's massive.
So this is the swamp hen. I click on that, click bird. Swamp hen. And it's also got all these other pictures to say
what a swamp.
This is the one
Another
you want.
examples of a swamp hen.
That is massive.
it also works on flowers.
That's flora and fauna,
That's
Jake.
right. A photo of there was at Araluen yesterday, the lovely tulip festival. Snapped a photo of this one. Let's have a look. Of course, it's a tulip.
And it tells you exactly what it is. The species gives you
Yeah.
a bunch of different photos of different colors. Tells you all you need to know about
It's
this thing.
fantastic. It works for lots of animals. It works for dogs. It works for birds. It works
Oh.
for cows.
That was going to be my next question. Is it
Does it
how
need a
how
cow?
broad does it go with this?
What about humans? Does it do humans?
Oh, let's have a look.
Like if you get up a photo of you and your girlfriend or you and mum, will it say that this is your mum based off of...
Well, it's doing genetic testing.
I don't think so.
or will it just say human? Or like, what if you
think
take
it
a
would
photo of a
just say-
house? Will it say house? Or what if you took a photo of
a lot of
a
questions.
camera? Will it say that's this camera?
I think it only, at the moment, I've only seen it work for animals and plants.
That's huge.
Is that good enough for you, Riley?
I'll take it for now.
But it's really fantastic. It's like these. Look at
What
these.
about people, for example? Like if you were to search up if you had a photo of like a footballer, for example.
Yep.
Let's say you had an image of Will Ashcroft winning the Norm Smith over the weekend.
Yep. Will it find it? I don't know.
Will it pick
also-
him out of
it
the
only-
crowd and be like, that's the Norm Smith medalist?
It only seems to work on photos that I've taken.
That's been
So I have a
organic.
lot of. Oh, let's have a look at this one. This one is Josh Dacos on holiday that I saw. He's not there.
Right.
Can you try to take a photo of this Gatorade bottle?
What if you took a photo of the frame on the
Oh,
wall?
yeah.
So we've got a big frame of Toy Story 2, arguably our favourite film of all time. If you take a photo of that, will that come up and say, this is Buzz Lightyear and this is Woody? What's Woody Harrelson?
Let's have a look. I don't.
What's Woody's last name?
I don't think it will. I think
Woody
it,
Doll.
No, it doesn't work. Sadly,
Okay.
so it's only for. It seems to be only for like something where you can see the outline. This is a bird. We're gonna find out what that bird is.
Nice.
That is pretty cool though. Like considering how many birds there are in Australia and how many plants, for it to be that specific is pretty
Yeah,
incredible.
there were I found these little strange looking bugs, even like that. It was like these little wormy kind of guys. I didn't know what
Coming
the
out
hell
your
was-
ass.
Yeah, the ringworm. And even that, it works. And it's just like, it's one of those things like when you're a kid. It's
Oh, that would have been crazy.
when you imagine like, oh, it'd be so cool if you could like just take a photo of a bird and it tells you what it is, you know?
That's exactly right. Can you quickly just take a photo of my t-shirt and tell me if it works?
Let's have a look.
This right one's still pretty in detail if you want to get one of that. Will it be a budgie? Will it be a
Because I've
pigeon?
seen ads very recently for Google, for example,
Zoom in.
that are allowing. That's not going to do anything. That are you can take a photo of like someone wearing a hat or a jumper, for example. I think Nick Nat is in an ad
Yeah,
at the
with the
moment
shoes.
about the shoes, and that just circles the shoes, and then it shows where you can buy the shoes from.
And it can also depict whether or not it's a t-shirt or not, because that didn't work.
Wow.
Fantastic. But yeah, it's like, I remember when they were first training all these AI stuff and it would be able to find a cat and it wasn't very good at it. And you could go on and help it find what a cat was.
Right.
And now we're here. It can pick a bird out of a photo.
And that's only about 9 months. 9 months ago.
9 months. No, that was years ago. That was
Oh.
a decade. Yeah, that was ages ago.
Right.
Yeah. But it's
So
fantastic.
it's a
I
slow
thought
progress. I thought it was a quick progress.
That is pretty cool though. I do rate it. And I wonder where it will go from here.
Yes, anyway, I wanted to let the people know so you can get out there and you can get birding. The bird community needs
It's
you.
very niche. I thought it was going to be something that we'd all be able to use tomorrow, but I don't think I'd even have a photo of a bird on my phone.
But you know, there's so many trees around Australia, and you don't really know what they are, but you always see them at the same ones.
Yeah, exactly. Things that you don't think about needing to know.
That's
You
it.
can know it now.
You can bloody know.
There you go. Love it, Joey.
Fantastic.
Another day older,
Yeah.
another day wiser. Alrighty, boys. As we do each and every year on the podcast, being big AFL fans, come the last week of February or early March, before the AFL season officially kicks off, we like to sit down, give our predictions for the year, which basically entails giving our Brownlows, our rising stars for the player, for like young
Best young
player in
player.
the competition who's dominating,
Yep.
and the premier who wins the grand final.
Yeah, for sure.
The season is now done, and
It's
it is
over.
time to
Now we
take
can see.
stock. Now, last year I think we did okay. Mate,
Yeah, because we all say Pies Premier, I think, every year.
yeah,
which helps.
I think he's yeah, it does help until
they
they don't. Yeah,
Until this year.
yeah. Most years when they don't win, it doesn't necessarily help. So we're going to kick things off this time round by asking who did we think we went for regarding the. We're going to start with Brownlow.
Yep.
Who do we think we locked in for the Brownlow medal this year?
Okay, I think I would have said Nick. Oh, no, actually, no, I think I would have said Chad.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have said Chad. Yeah.
Chad Warner.
Yeah.
Okay. Riley?
I reckon I would have gone someone a little bit like not
Skew
like
if.
that. Yeah. Like a sarong.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Okay,
I've
you would've-
obviously cut all these together, so I'm not going to guess, but I am simply going to play the clips, and we'll see what we think afterwards
Okay.
about what we said
Yeah.
on the last week of February regarding the most recent AFL season and who we thought would win the Brownlow medal. Riley, you can pick the Brownlow medal winner this year.
In Dacos 3 votes.
It's going to be so exciting.
In the AFL, you often have a year where you dominate in the Brownlow,
Yeah.
but you don't necessarily win it.
Yes.
But it's for everyone to sort of take note. Everyone goes, oh
Ooh.
shit, that kid sort of tore it up. And by the time that it filters down to those little pea-brain umpires who are in charge of doing the votes, then they work it out for the following year. So if you've had a great year last year, and usually it's the year after that you'll win it.
Yeah.
My only thoughts on that are that it probably should have gone to Marcus Bontempelli
Yeah.
last year,
Yeah, definitely.
and it didn't. It's weird that a kid in his third year will get a Lifetime Achievement Award, but I think that's what Nick will be getting this year. I'm also backing in Dacos, 3 votes. Joan, who do you
Yeah.
reckon?
So I've actually done a lot of research into this. Sort of looking at outliers, things that could change the game.
Nice.
And that's why I'll be locking in Sean Darcy.
Oh, wow. I was starting to scroll for Chad Warner, who's paying $51.
No, Chad is old news. Sean Darcy.
Wait, Sean Darcy,
The
Fremantle
Fremantle
ruck.
ruck.
I think
He spends more time at Benny's than he does at
no.
purple uniform, bro.
That's the thing. Luke will take over as key ruckman or whatever. Sean Darcy, full forward.
What do we think?
No, definitely close. Was he there in the night? I don't think so.
It's Darcy. I don't think
Definitely not.
he played about 8 games.
Yeah, but if you polled an each, you would have done all right.
That is hectic.
I mentioned the Bontempelli stuff because I thought he was going to be a real sniff this year. As I said, if you don't win it the year before and you've had a pretty remarkable season, the umpires tend to look after you the next year. Marcus didn't even win his own team this year.
Yeah, he was ruled out by the old president's wife before the very start of the event.
Oh, that's true. Andrew Dillon, the CEO's wife, more or less went, putting a line through him.
Not her.
You both said Endakos. Which,
yeah. He couldn't have had any other year he wins. He gets 37 votes, breaks records.
Yeah, but we were predicting for
and
this
loses.
year.
Yeah.
And it wasn't this
Yeah,
year.
well, he had a season that would have won in any other year.
Yeah. Next year.
No one picked Crip.
No, I'm
No.
No one picked Crypt.
Next year, Sean will take it, and then the year after that could be next year.
Second up this year, this one is always my favourite that we do. Mainly because, as you just heard, not the most educated statements being made.
No, never.
And they're about players we know. So when you ask who's going to win the Rising Star, most of that time is sort of centered around trying to earn.
Who is the option?
Yeah. Let us become acquainted.
Okay.
These are our predictions.
Are we going to do who me and Riley thought we picked?
Yeah, go on. Who do you think you picked?
Corey.
Corey Warner. What about you?
Wait, can
Riley?
Cheezer win a back-to-back?
No, no. You can only play a handful of games. You got to play under 10 games. You got to be under a certain
Either that or
age.
Harley.
I legit don't. Yeah, I would have said Harley Reid, actually.
Yeah. Okay. So this one, obviously, last year,
Who'd you go last year for the people at home?
Corey Warner.
You did indeed.
I was going to do a swan sweep again this year, but I'm sort of anti-swans.
You said that last year
Swans, I actually fucking hate them.
because of what they did to Slick.
Yeah, and I just think it's cringe that they did so bad after being in the grand final, and also they did really bad in the grand final. They were really good, and then they became a cringe team. That's why Corey Warner will bring him on the redemption arc. That's right, he's still eligible for the Rising Star.
I'm
Maybe
looking and I can't
could
find
maybe.
him. I can't find him, so I'm starting to think he might not be. But I rate it. You got a backup in case he's not
Backup?
eligible?
How long's Sean been in the league? Back up. Well, obviously Harley Reid, but because no one else from Eagles is ever going to get a vote.
That's
But they'll probably never win a game, so it's hard to get votes then as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of bored with Harley Reid, so gotta go my boy H.
See him run to 50 and boot the ball down to the other side of the
yeah,
field.
that was a highlight. He took
This isn't a waffle, buddy, or whatever he played.
What is it?
he took
He kicked the ball. He took the kick
He
out.
took the kick out and he just ran. He ran 50 metres up the guards. He didn't actually dispose of the footy until he was at the 49 metre mark.
Bounced it either.
He just ran.
What's wrong with that?
No,
It was like in
nothing-
Forrest Gump. I'll just get running.
I do feel like that's going to be his entire year. Realistically.
Kick
Who
it
the
to
fuck-
fucking no one. No one else is there. Yeah, what do you
And also, if you
What do you
know,
expect?
if you know that if you kick it to anyone else, they're worse than you. Just don't kick it to them. This is going to be so bad in 5 years when he wins the Brownlow. But if all my eggs were in Harley's basket, I'd be concerned if I was West
Yeah,
Coast.
I mean, a young player like that can do really well, but not when that's the team.
He's got nothing around him to help.
Yeah.
You're going Harley Reid. I'm going to go Colby McKercher. I think Colby is an absolute superstar. He's a big boy, and he looks very, very capable off a halfback. He's going to play for North. North are playing a fast, good pace of footy.
Never heard of the kid, but I hope he goes well.
We just heard Joey's best episode,
Yeah, Joey had a lot of highlights in
I
there.
think it's also interesting. We were talking about Harley running far and kicking.
Yeah.
And he won goal of the year doing exactly that.
Yeah, maybe that was the secret to success. They played in a trial game against Fremantle, and he was basically just trying to carry the side. That was what that example was alluding to. Good to know you're still hanging on to Corey Warner. That bloke might be about 40, and Joe's still putting him.
And you were right, Jake, with the McKerch.
No.
No.
Who ended up winning?
McKercher didn't.
Some guy.
Probably would be good to know that, actually.
know.
Oh, Ollie. Wait, his name's Ollie, right? It's like Ollie.
I have no
Ollie
idea.
Dempsey. Ollie Dempsey
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Geelong, correct. Yeah, Ollie Dempsey from Geelong. Got up.
Looks
Yeah, I
like
mean-
Harley.
We had money on a MacPack multi as well
Yep.
that included Collingwood.
Yep.
Nick Dacos
And then McKerch.
and McKercher. And spoilers, 0-3.
Wow.
At moments, we looked okay. Very, very
Yeah,
brief
when Harley got
moments.
suspended.
Yeah, Harley would have won it
Looking
if he
good.
didn't get suspended. Is that a fair enough statement?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Yeah. I reckon what I said about him on that episode will get brought up more
In
than
AFL
once.
circles.
More than once as
Yeah,
we
that'll be talked about.
as we move forward. He's probably got that quip hanging up like in his bedroom, just a photo of us.
Yeah,
sitting here.
photo of the waveform.
Last week we locked in the Premiership side for 2024. Any guesses as to who we may have selected after Collingwood won last year?
The Pies. It's got to be.
But what makes you say that?
I really thought they were going to win.
Faithful. Yeah, I would have said Pies as well, I reckon.
Okay, this will probably come as no surprise.
Do I even have to say it? Do I have to say it?
That's kind of the whole point of the segment.
Yeah. Come on, do I really? Really, what are we doing here? We all know. Black metal. No, obviously Collingwood would win again.
So locking in the Pies. Pies go back to back.
Yeah, I think they're in good form. Quaynor's looking fucking jacked as usual. They're gonna win. I was saying that winning 2 in a row.
Yep.
So the first one, super exciting.
Super
Second one, not as exciting as the first one. But then the third one is
Yeah.
fucking...
That's a good point. So you reckon there's a lull in the middle?
The second one is like, winning 2 in a row is like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. But winning one after a while is like sick. So I reckon we'll still win it, and then I reckon we'll win again next year.
You reckon we go 3-peat?
Yeah, obviously.
Good boy.
Back in the Pies as well. No questions asked.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. We look as good as I think we've ever looked. And realistically, usually like a premiership team loses a handful of players. A lot of them get... The top enders disappear.
Yeah.
Get a bit old or retire, for example. We got rid of Jack Ginnivan, who, like, lovely kid, great player.
Yeah, he's dead to us.
Super sub. But we added Lockie Schultz, who was arguably a top 5 player of the Dockers for the last 5 years.
Yeah, and
Watch
even
the star.
Finn McRae.
Yeah, Finn McRae coming off VFL. He's like an absolute
Goated,
jet,
yeah.
man.
Jack didn't play many games last year anyway.
That's what I mean. Like, it's not like we've lost. With all due respect, it's not like we're hemorrhaging from the loss of Jack Ginnivan. We found a like for like, who in my opinion is better than Jack.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I just think I think the best team in the competition got better.
Facts.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Most teams, after they win the flag, get better and finish ninth.
Jack Ginnivan also got better.
Yeah, I loved how
And
Jack...
Lockie Schultz got much worse.
Jack got 3 votes in the game against the Pies.
Yeah.
And Lockie Schultz watched him do it, I think. I don't
And this
remember him
Finlay
being-
guy, how many games did he play?
I did, after listening to that, I went and had a look because I was big on Finlay McRae. He played 9 games for the Pies, I believe, this year.
He lost.
And 4 of them he actually started and finished on the field. 5 of them he was the sub, so he practically didn't play.
So, but next year, though, he's going to come in.
Tough game.
Tough game.
Yeah, it looks like we got that.
It's hard
one
to do
incredibly-
predictions.
It is.
There's
very
so many
hard.
different things that can happen. How many players are in the system? There's 40 teams. Every team has roughly 40 to 50 players.
Do we think we lost
I mean,
the Lockie Schultz trade? Do we think that just
Did we lose the Lockie Schultz trade?
the Lockie Schultz Jack Ginnivan trade? Lockie looked elite for one game, half a game towards the back end of the year.
Yeah, he
was it
redeemed
against
himself.
Brisbane? Can't remember who it was against.
Yeah, look, next year, who knows? Who knows? We could be doing Schultz maybe this time next year we'll be wearing Schultz ball shirts or something. You never know.
I love it. We'll be back probably in February, March.
Yep, to give you some more uneducated, incorrect opinions.
Exactly right. Alrighty, boys, I've been promised that you two have a ball-tearingly funny cat story.
Yeah, this has been in the cooker for a while.
The cat has been in the cooker.
Yeah,
Get it
it's been
out.
Slow cooking.
Yeah. Wait.
Riley, take it away.
So
Reese pinging.
we were playing. No, we weren't playing. We were playing songs on the radio, and we were playing our voice on Radio
the
Freo
radio.
Mantle.
Of course.
On Radio Freo Mantle. 107.9
Radio flag, man.
FM. From 8 to 10 a.m. on Saturday mornings. That's right, folks. That's where we reside. And after a little shift in the studio, on the airwaves,
Yeah.
Joey and I, we carpool. Because we come
go-
from the same place.
We do.
We go to the
cut from the
same
same cloth.
go from the same club. We drive to the same station.
Yeah.
And then we return back home every week. It would be silly not to pull cars.
On Saturday mornings, our car changed from a vehicle to a
To a
body
pool.
of water. It has become pool and we car it.
That's correct. And as we were heading home this one day, Joe, it gets really hot in the Radio Frio studios, doesn't it?
Yeah, even
Yeah.
in winter. Like,
So we
real
all-
warm.
Yeah, the aircon, but it's also really good at making stuff cold. I don't know. It's
It's really good. The air conditioning's fantastic. In winter, it makes the room
Yeah.
extraordinarily hot. And in summer, we were in there in summer. I was wearing a jumper. I was actually colder in the room in summer than I was in winter.
All of the sponsorship money goes directly into AC.
Well, that's why Dax Aircon. The
Yeah,
good,
the
the
big
good,
guy.
the
Yeah,
good
they-
people at Dax
Big
big
Aircon.
ups to the master painter and
Yeah, he's
everyone
got
else.
some heat-proof paint.
Yeah.
That's right. Anyway, but so we get there at 8 a.m. roughly, a bit earlier on every Saturday morning, and it's cold. You know, we all come with trackies or shorts and a hoodie. And Joe took his hoodie off this day.
Yeah, of
didn't he? He
course.
took his
You
hoodie
gotta
off 'cause
do
he got
it.
hot. He got hot in
Gotta
the
do it,
airwaves. He was sweating heaps from obviously presenting on radio. So he took his hoodie off, and we're driving back home. Hoodie remained off. Need I remind you? And we got home this lovely day, and we'd had pizza a couple of nights.
We
earlier,
had
hadn't we, Joe?
pizza.
We love a bit of pizza. But the only issue with pizzas is, especially when you get a big one, we got like a nice one. This was when we went to a gourmet place, not like a
No.
Domino's.
Shout out to our good friends.
No. Domino's are elite at what they do, but they do it fast. They do it quick. They're good. They're great at what they do.
And their
We're talking
marketing is
gourmet.
second to none.
Oh man.
Well, actually, this is-
marketing and where they put their money in marketing.
Yeah,
is
for
sure, yeah.
fantastic,
Distribution
100%,
costs.
Yeah. Oh,
I have
man.
no idea where this story is going.
So-
But the longer it goes on, the more nervous I
Wait,
get.
so these pizza boxes that you get from a gourmet restaurant,
They're big.
they come in a large box, and once you finish these, sometimes they don't even fit in the recycle bin. So you have to wait till like the day of which the truck man is
And then you
coming.
got to frisbee it in the back.
And
you have to walk out there and be like, "You mind opening up the back, man?"
and you put it on top of the bin for the bin guy to pick up and throw
Yeah.
in.
And
That's
I
not what they
gotta-
do. They do not like doing that, by the way. Yeah, if there's a law that if it's not in the bin, like you get
It's
fined.
not rubbish.
Like there's apparently if you put like, let's say we had like tall boxes
Yeah.
and the bin was open as a result,
They
the bin
actually-
man doesn't legally have to take that. If it doesn't fit in the bin, I believe they don't have to take it.
What a Wayne Kerr. That is a dog move.
So, as you were discussing the pizza box, so the pizza box was on the table, but I got to back you up just a little bit there.
Here we go.
It all goes back to that famous Domino's ad we did, the Pizza Camp,
The Domino's pizza again.
Yeah.
He's a classic.
where Riley plays a genie sort of character that wears a pizza hat.
Yes, and it jumps out of the pool.
You can find the ad on @Domino's _
Yeah.
AU on all platforms.
Good people at Domino's.
Oh, I love
Not
Domino's.
gourmet, but
Good.
better than gourmet.
Oh yeah, quick.
Yeah.
Well, it's
And
fast
they do
food.
cheeseburger pizzas
Oh
as well.
mate,
Which
it's actually elite.
gourmet wish they could do a cheeseburger pizza.
Oh yeah.
The health authorities wouldn't allow.
So the pizza hat, which we used in the video, it was famously tucked away in the closet.
Yeah.
And now we take it out, and I thought, whatever, I'm just going to leave it on the table.
Classic Joe, just leaving everywhere around.
Yeah,
the house.
classic.
Leave
Yeah.
it on the table in case we needed to do reshoots.
Yeah, which is
Okay.
common. Which is
Yeah.
a common thing we do because we miss the brief. We
Yeah.
get too excited and we don't read the brief.
Guys, the breeze.
Next thing you know, we're
Stop
gimping
talking
around.
Stop talking about gourmet. So, but as it was on the table, it became
The hat, yeah?
the pizza hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
It became very much liked by our cat Socks.
It became a second home. It became a bed. It
Yeah,
became
some-
a resting
For
place.
some reason,
Yeah.
Socks would just,
Chill.
no matter what you do, you'd walk out, Socks would be sitting on the pizza
In
hat.
fact, we were having dinner
On it.
on the
Okay.
hat.
We were having dinner an hour ago, and the cat was sitting on the same
Yeah.
pizza hat.
So the cat was sitting on the
Did you
pizza
not
hat.
say
No, I have no like.
After
yeah,
it was,
tonight, yeah.
It
I
was
haven't
right next to
noticed
me
it.
when I was eating.
You know when it helped onto the corner of the table?
Pizza
and it was
Hut was
being
there.
kind of weird. It was on the pizza hat.
Okay.
So the pizza hat was there, but then obviously we were having real pizza, and we had these big, delicious gourmet
Oh,
pizzas.
Yeah.
God.
We're not gourmet, but cheeseburger. Oh no, they
No,
were
these
gourmet.
were
Gourmet.
gourmet.
Oh, gross. Our
Flop
least
off.
favorite.
Overpriced.
So,
Overpriced.
so Dad had gone to pick them up, and Dad liked the table to be ready when he returns.
Yeah.
Standard practice.
So I got the pizza hat, and I was like, well, I'll just put this next to Socks' box that Socks also likes.
Yeah, okay. Socks has a real thing about jumping into boxes.
And the box is on the ground.
Yeah, the box is
Not
there.
on the dinner table.
yeah, exactly.
Which
And
is
this
where
is
the
not-
cat resides.
And this is
For some
Not on the
reason.
cat's table.
No, the dinner table. Yeah.
And then so I put
cat
the
sleeps
pizza
on the
hat
dinner table.
into Socks' box. Didn't think much of it. He likes the box. He likes the hat. He's Socks. He can be in the box with the hat.
okay, yeah.
It's all good. We had the pizza on the table. His pizza was in the box.
on the floor. Which
Didn't
is
think
not
much
what-
of it. We finished the pizza. Oh, and then you have a big pizza. Sometimes you put the leftovers on a plate and then put that in the fridge. You
Yeah.
don't have a giant.
Yeah.
I don't even know what size it is.
Oh, it's 1 by 1 at least.
Yeah. And then the pizza boxes were left on the table. We returned back from Radio Fremantle. Radio Fremantle was hot. I took my jumper off.
And we're back.
We're back.
And we're back, folks. That's right. That's
Okay.
that's
The scene has
what-
been set.
Oh yeah. If you're not all caught up,
Yeah.
you're fucked.
Yeah, if you don't understand it now, stop listening.
Anyway, so we get on.
That's some incredible blocking
And
from the voice.
oh yeah, so much blocking going on. And the stress levels were high in the house when we got home, weren't they, Joey?
I do really. I don't know.
There was
Just
already
usual.
Oh, I mean, the stress. It's a mess. The house can be a mess sometimes.
For sure.
And stress levels among the residents
can
can get
get high.
elevated.
It's a bit testy.
And you've got to be careful not to move a muscle. To be very careful with where you
Yeah.
step and what you say in specific moments, because things can get ugly.
And then
And then this lovely day, I actually think when we were leaving the house,
Which would have been early.
early Saturday morning. Yeah, it's like 6.
7:30.
6. You get lost.
Well,
on
we
the
get
way.
there at 8, so usually we're 7:50. And then, but I was leaving the house and I walked past a cat poo. A poo of cat.
Oh.
A cat poo.
But then only in the.
But I didn't
in the
have
box,
time.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Not in the box.
Not in the little box.
On tile.
Yeah, lit it on the tile.
And in a room it's not meant to litter in. And I was like,
Every room.
I don't think we don't have time. We've got radio from
Yeah.
We've got Radio Fremantle. So we got in the car and we left. And mother dear, took it upon herself to clean up the poo while we were gone.
Fantastic.
Oh, elite. But
Great
things
effort.
got thirsty.
Because as I came back, I had my jumper, and usually I put all the stuff from radio back in the podcast room.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
So first I go, okay, I've got the bag of radio stuff. I've got to take that to that room. So I'm just going to got my jumper. I'm just going to drape it over the chair.
Okay.
You wouldn't think anything of it, would you?
I
Yeah.
wouldn't. No.
Not a thing.
So I go
Over the
drop-
dining table chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
all you need to know.
Yeah, exactly. And
A
then-
hoodie over a chair.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then
But hoodies have a hood.
they do have a hood.
They like
and
to
the hood
hang.
drapes. Yeah.
The hood drapes, right? And what's that?
What was that noise?
What's that stopping the hood from hitting the timber table? Oh, a stack of pizza boxes. The Domino's pizza comes back. A stack of pizza boxes, not
From the
Domino's,
dinner
gourmet.
previously.
That's
yeah,
right.
So they're empty.
That's
so they're
right.
too big for the recycling.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're on the
But they're all sitting on the table.
Waiting to be thrown.
But there was a funny noise because obviously pizza boxes made of cardboard.
Not
Dining table made of timber.
Yeah.
but the noise, definitely liquid.
The noise was liquid.
Yeah, it's a liquid noise.
What do you
Have you ever
mean?
draped a hoodie into liquid?
No, and I wouldn't imagine it would make a noise.
Yeah, well.
It's a bit like throwing a shirt in a pool. It doesn't really make a noise.
So if the shirt falls in the pool and no one's there,
Do the
doesn't
shirt
make a
fall.
noise.
Yeah.
But that's right. And I looked at it so confused. Like that was such a weird noise that made.
Yeah.
And
So a bit of a would you say a reactionary
Wait.
head swivel?
Yeah, yeah.
double
Because I
back.
was already like almost leaving the room, and I like looked back, like what was that noise? And then Joe lifted up the hoodie, and we both looked at the box like. And then obviously it was winter. It was raining the night before.
Yeah.
So
You
I
think
looked
maybe
at,
a leak?
I looked at the roof, and
Or even
thought,
I thought, for a second, could this be grease?
oh yeah,
Grease lightning.
Wow.
yeah, because you know how the bottom of the pizza boxes get really greasy.
Maybe the top could get greasy.
And then I looked at the roof, and I was like, well, "There's no dripping." And then we both looked back down at the pizza box simultaneously.
So so on this pizza box, there's also a photo of a pizza.
Yeah.
So you know what's in there.
Yeah, I
In this
It
case,
looked almost ominously the same as the Domino's pizza hat that we use.
yes,
to shoot the video.
honestly.
And who liked the pizza hat?
And who was annoyed that the pizza hat was on the floor and been replaced
The
by
cat.
a cardboard box.
Meow.
Oh,
The
so
cat.
hat's on the floor, pizza boxes on the table.
Yeah.
Cat's like, I like sitting on the hat, but I like sitting on the table. Those two things aren't on the same at the moment.
Yes.
I'm a piss
So
on the
obviously,
box. And oh my god, the puddle like was so heavy and large
yeah.
that it like sunk the pizza box in a
Yeah,
bit.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
the roof was like caved.
It's not meant to have.
Like it was like a puddle. Like you know how like if it pissed on like a flat surface, it wouldn't stay all in the
would
same place. It
disperse.
would it would disperse.
Yeah.
This was like a genuine like puddle.
It had
Yeah.
pooled. Much like you boys, the paper box
Yeah,
had
it
pooled.
And poor residents of their house who had just finished cleaning.
yeah,
poo,
I know. Yeah, such a rough morning.
Had to pick up the box.
Because obviously we're radio stars.
She picked up the box
She, being our mother.
and
As
tried
well.
to. She took it outside very quickly.
Yeah, very
after
carefully as well.
After we discovered that is on the box on the table. Things
you
could not
recycle that?
quite get much more disgusting than this.
Oh
They're
wait,
tilting. The
Wait, you
actual
gotta
balancing
balance
That's why,
trick.
yeah, that's why Mum was like, it was kind of like a bowl at this point. She was like bowling it.
yeah,
And then she walked outside and tried to flick it out into the garden.
yeah.
But there was a splash about.
What?
There was definitely pause flicking of urine technique.
Yeah. So half of it was in garden, half of it was on my mother. And what a testy morning it
Yeah.
was here
And
at our abode. Almost
So
said the
now
address.
the pizza hat remains on the table.
So,
No piss
No,
to be
yeah.
seen.
It was
so
literally
the rule is, we've annoyed the cat. That seems to
Yeah.
be the situation.
The
The cat will only not piss on the table if the hat is.
yeah, and it was
stable
clearly
to
upset it because he had shat somewhere
And then
and
pissed
pissed on a box.
up yeah.
So should we trial it?
No.
Should we give it a crack
Okay,
one
you
day?
Tried one.
Just
No.
move the cat. Just move the hat once. Just hide it.
Let's put it at your house.
Nah. Alrighty, boys. In some very exciting news during the week, Joey and I went and picked up a new SIM card for a mobile device, which we are calling the MacPhone.
Yes, for sure.
Those listening along at home can text it. They can call it basically any time of the night or day. Joe will answer it
I will not
legally.
answer.
Legally, Joe is contractually
No, no, no.
obliged to answer it at any point in time. The number is 047 30 30 88 0.
88.0.
Yeah, 88, I think that's how it was.
That's
So feel free to sling it a message. The moment that you're hearing it right now, flick it a message if you want. Joe will probably, you legally, you'll get back to him.
if you want to hear that
Probably
again,
not. I can't get back to them. We don't have enough calls.
Yeah, we
for
don't
that.
have that.
Oh,
we didn't
alright.
buy it.
It's a one-way bloody
Yeah, it's
mobile.
one-way.
It's like a phone booth.
So yeah.
It's a reverse phone booth. Phone booths can only make calls going out.
Yeah, okay.
We can only take calls.
Yeah. It's like an answering machine.
There you go. You know, Joe, you called it Mum when you were away on this bird watching thing from a phone
From a
booth.
phone booth, I
And
did.
your mum called it back. And it rang through, but no one picked up.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, that's
That's the
pretty-
issue.
But
with the
you
phone.
can call phone booths back.
Yeah, if someone's standing there. You know the guy's
Welcome to
standing.
2024. Did you not know
No,
that?
but Joe said it's one way.
Well, it's mainly used one way.
Oh, it's going to be a pretty hectic fluke if you're hitting it the other way.
Yeah.
isn't it?
Oh, Jess! What are you doing there?
But we did go and pick up a phone or a SIM card for
A
an
SIM
old
card,
phone
yes.
to get the Mac phone up and running. And that wasn't without eventfulness.
Yeah, because it's a little bit strange to walk into
A phone store.
the phone store. Obviously, we're open to sponsorship deals.
A telecommunications company.
And say, look, buddy, we need a phone, a SIM. We don't want to make any calls. We want people to be able to call us. And we want it cheap. We need it cheap.
Not stressing up.
So Joey and I have walked
it is
into
cheap.
we've walked into this store sort of knowing what we want, but like
We're not sure on the logistics.
no, exactly. So we sort of had more queries. We had queries, we had questions, we had an inquiry of such, and we needed a single answer. And we had a fantastic assistance from this young gent. Despite when we first got there, we just sort of stood around a bit, and then some guy walked over because we made an appointment. We'd done the smart thing, and we'd made a little appointment.
Wow.
The guy comes over, and goes, "Oh, hello," and I said, "Hello,"
The gentleman.
and he goes, "What can I do for you?" And I
What
said,
can I do
"We
you
have
for?"
an appointment at what was it, 5:30, for example." And he goes, "Of course you do," which is not necessarily
Yeah.
the.
He
said, "Of course you do."
Yeah, we
Of
should-
course you do. Well, it is
That's
5:30.
that's
What
why
time do
we-
they close?
I think it was late night shopping.
7 o'clock or something.
Oh,
Like we
of
were
course
there.
you did.
We were there, yeah, and it was just like
That's
wow,
such a
that's
rude
interesting.
thing to say.
Yeah, I think it was more because there was only 4 like staff members in the store, and they were all being assisted by different
People.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And this guy just had the iPad, which is such a funny thing. Like it's 2024. Do we need to carry an iPad around? Like obviously, just help the person that's there.
Yeah, it's also like his job is to like talk to people who come in
He's not doing
and
a
just
great
walk
deal.
around.
Yeah.
You could be helping people.
And so he'd already told the person in front of us, look,
There was a 5:30 queue.
yeah, and he goes, all right, well, you guys will have to wait as well, but this guy's also waiting. And then once someone comes available, just hit him up, right? Then he walked back, and then he came back out again, and he spoke to the other guy,
Yeah.
and he was just like, all right, well, looks like I am going to help you out. After he'd already
'cause
told
he
him,
had
I'm not
spoken
assisting you.
the manager, the manager man.
Because there's
came
people out the back he was talking to.
All
And
right.
he's like, dude, you have to help this old guy. So he
Wow.
helped a lot of old people need help at the phone shop.
We were definitely the youngest ones in there. And then eventually, the guy finished up with one other dude, and he come over to us.
Yep.
This is a separate guy, lovely operator, really nice dude.
Nice.
He was
good.
early.
And he's like, what can I help you boys with today? And like verbatim, we were like, we want a cheap SIM card that people can call and text, but we don't have to ever speak to them. And then he was just like you could imagine if someone said that to you, you'd be like,
What are you?
well, you're selling drugs. There's only one thing that this could be for. And it's me and Joe, like pretty young operators who just like, I'm there in shorts, a hat and a hoodie. And Joe's got business
dress pants and a
Joe's
hoodie.
got business attire on. And then we're sitting down. And at this point, I hadn't thought like this is a pretty hectic conversation.
Yeah.
And then he's showing us the plans and shit. And we were just sort of going back and forth. And
And he's like, can it be traceable? Or
yeah, he was asking all these like very standard questions you'd imagine, and the answers we were giving because we didn't want to. It's a little bit, it's not embarrassing, but it's not something you want to bring up. You're like,
I've got
It's for my it's-
radio
Yeah.
it's for community radio.
yeah. So we just sort of sat there and
So we
didn't
can
really.
interact with the fans.
We didn't really say anything. We were just sort of like sat there. But the longer we sat in silence, and he was like, "So you don't want people? It doesn't matter if people you can't get back to people." And we were like, "Yeah." And he goes, "But you just want them to call
Yeah.
you?" And we're like, "Yep," or text, whatever's easiest for them. And he's just like, "Okay, yep, I think
And then
we'll
you-
have something for you."
He goes, what is it going into? A fine, buddy.
It was a bizarre little chat. And then he finished up and he's like, all right, well, this is the deal. And then he walked off. And it was only at that point I turned to John and I was like, what do you think he thinks this phone's for? It's like, we could give him 1,000 guesses and he wouldn't guess. It's going to be used for a podcast / radio show.
And also, the only thing we seemed to care about was we were very adamant about, can the number be good?
Yeah.
Anyway, because we were like, this is the thing. We were like, we need the cheapest SIM card possible.
For the
And then we're
sickest
like,
number.
Can we get a number?
That we can customize.
And he was like, no, no. He goes, what do we pay extra?
yeah,
So I was
happy to
like,
pay extra for the number.
We'll pay $1,000 for
yeah,
that.
for 1-800 drug runner. That's
Yeah,
what we really want.
100 cat.
So
Kept me up.
So that was where we were sort of at, and he walked off, and at that point I just sort of looked at Joe and I said, "What do you think he thinks this is for?" And Joe said, "Oh, definitely drugs, like 100% drugs." He goes, "You're Jesse, and I'm clearly Walter White, and that's what's going on."
Because
in
the
this
only other
situation."
question I asked him was, does Telegram work on this?
What is that?
It's a drug app.
Oh,
Don't act like you don't know, champion.
who's Telegram? There you go.
But yeah,
Funny.
super lovely guy, very nice operator. But
And then obviously we get the number. The way the number works is
good number,
he says it's randomly generated. Once I activate the SIM, you get a number,
and that's it. And we were like,
See,
"Wow,
I disagree with that.
what do you mean?"
In principle,
All right, let's talk about 1-300.
No, those numbers are separate. Because then we were like, "How do you get like a customizable number?" And he's like, "That's a completely different service."
And
And then he sort of went to give us like a wink and a nudge, like not, a bit different to the service you're trying to provide,
All right.
which is a drug.
Did you ask
running
more about that
operation.
other service though?
yeah, he didn't seem to know anything about it.
No, I don't think he's making money on clientele that way.
Anyway, 047 30 30 88.
We were pretty happy
That's
with it.
nice.
When he came back, it was written down.
I loved
on the
it.
piece of
Thought
paper.
it was fantastic.
And I was like, 30-30. Easy to say.
88.
Fantastic.
Over.
I think also one thing, obviously we've...
Oh, and then
the
we
way
talked
we're-
about listen out. That's right. We mentioned listen out. And
Yeah,
then-
true, yeah.
and
This is
then-
what we need it for.
yeah, and then it
Be
did seem a little
slinging
bit.
it.
Listen, how's going on the weekend, bro? I need this.
It
Yeah,
did seem
actually,
a
that
little
makes
bit.
sense because we did get a weird text on Saturday afternoon.
Probably him.
It says, "Hey buddies, I'm Chasen. I'm from the phone store. You guys selling what?"
30, 30, 88.
Yeah, and then he said,
Wink.
"Heard you guys on the radio this morning. Great community channel. It's great to hear local talent."
So yeah, you can hit us up on 047 30 30 880. We would love to hear from you.
Yes,
at
and
any
if you
time.
have a cool jingle
Oh.
for the phone number, you know, like
Oh,
047
yeah.
30 30 88 something like that, but
yeah,
better.
Yeah, definitely better.
Send us a voice message.
Oh, that's reaching, but I like it. I do like it. Or just get in contact. If you want to ask what Joe's eating for dinner and not hear back, ask
Hit
Yeah.
Joey up.
047 30 30 880.
Alrighty, boys, it's time for our favourite weekly segment. It's our only weekly segment. It's time for our Everyday Hero. And obviously, we made mention of over the last couple of weeks, in particular, to the grand final that was
Yes.
just on. It would only be fitting to be able to find someone during the grand final coverage. We didn't necessarily have to find him.
They find us.
He sort of made himself so lovable that if we didn't give him the hero this week, revoke our
There'd
rights.
be questions.
Revoke our rights to give out the everyday hero. This week's everyday hero is obviously going to Oscar McInerney, the Brisbane Lions ruckman, who has played literally like every game of this fixture,
This year.
Yep.
except he got hurt in the preliminary final. He popped his shoulder out not once, but twice, and rendered himself out for the grand final. Obviously couldn't play, so the VFL's finest, Darcy Fort, come in for what I believe is only like his third game of footy this year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Stepped up.
Of AFL footy or footy in general?
AFL footy, he's been playing in like the twos, like the equivalent, like the VFL over there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, stepped up and absolutely dominated, but it's more about Oscar today.
Yeah, for sure. Because oftentimes there are sad stories where people get hurt, people get dropped from the team, people can't play the grand final, and it's always really sad for them. They're not there. They're not being able to make an impact for the team.
That's right.
They've worked their whole year, their whole life, their whole career.
It's a bittersweet feeling because if you weren't aware, when you play in the AFL and you make it to the grand final and you win that grand final, there's only 23 people that get a medal. Your coach and the 22 that are selected.
Yeah, you have to have been playing in the game. It doesn't necessarily matter what you do during.
So you could play every single game of the season, miss out on the grand final, and not get a medal.
Exactly right.
Your name's not in history.
And Oscar, he was given the right to come and sit on the bench, which I think was a fantastic
Yeah,
thing.
for
So, like, throughout the year, he'd obviously be playing in so many games. So, the amount of knowledge he would have,
Yeah.
not only on, like, the position, but going up against someone of Brodie Grundy's
Yeah.
stature, an ex-AFL All-Australian ruckman. Just the value that he would add would be absolutely second to none.
Yeah, for sure.
They allowed him to sit on the bench and obviously coach Oscar as he was going. But the clear example for mine is like you're missing out on the grand final. We watched it happen with Taylor Adams last year for Collingwood. Again, it happened with Taylor Adams this year. It happened with Callum Mills from Sydney this year.
Yep.
One of the biggest ones was the
Bulldogs.
Bulldogs captain.
Correct. He was out with injury as well. But now, those boys, for example, you'd be very upset, and you could tell that they were very upset.
Yeah.
And it was a very bitter win when they won the prelim because they knew there was a fair likelihood that they would be
Not going
involved.
to be playing, yeah.
Oscar, at no point in time, did anything but show nothing but pure joy and excitement for his fellow teams, and in particular, the bloke who directly replaced him. And that's mainly why he's going to win this week's Everyday Hero.
My favourite moment, obviously the grand final was a bit of like a wash, but my favourite moment was the game ends. You got Lockie Neal and Zorko lying down celebrating.
Yeah.
And then the camera shoots across to Darcy Fort, runs straight to the bench and hugs Big O.
Yeah.
And he
It's
doesn't
fantastic.
look, he wasn't in tears because he was sad because he
No.
missed out.
He was
or-
pumped.
He was, the whole thing, the whole celebration, everything, he was like, this is
He thought it was
fucking
the...
sick.
Yeah, honestly, if he had taken something, I wouldn't have been surprised. He
Yeah,
was
yeah.
carrying on that much. I
He's-
absolutely love
And
it.
he's also
His
like,
shoulder didn't hurt at all. He was
Yeah.
buzzed up.
but his shoulder's like in a sling or like, do you see? He was like,
Yeah.
still held
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
And he's running around, jumping around, lifting people up.
Celebrating like it was
Yeah.
no one's business. My favourite moment of the whole thing was Darcy Ford got called up to get the medal.
Yeah.
And they shoot to Oscar.
Yeah.
And he looked like a proud father. Like, he was just pumping his fist. He thought it was the greatest day on the planet, which I just think is fantastic. Fantastic level of understanding the situation, reading the room and putting not only your teammates, but the bloke who's awkwardly got to replace you
Yep.
ahead of your own, I don't know, personal aspect of what's going on in the day.
I think Yeah, and the way he sort of handled it made me feel like... So oftentimes people, they miss out on getting the medal. And that's really sad. They should have had the medal.
Yep.
But he knows he got them to the grand final.
Yes.
And like literally every game they've played, all finals, they could have lost.
He gained so many fans. I do have a clip here from the ABC. They did an interview immediately after the game with Big Oscar, running a handful of questions past him, which, I don't know, they're the questions you sort of wanted answered, but his answers could not have been more perfect. And he's a funny cat. Like, we'll watch the video. He's a funny cat. Like, he's such a sweetheart, but he's not like your typical footballer by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. We'll play that clip now. Just have a quick listen here.
It's going to carry.
Okay, we're going to play that clip now. I'll obviously just clip this out.
You're such a big part of this team. What are your emotions right now?
Bloody ecstatic, to be honest. The feeling in here is absolutely electric and it's addictive, and it's going to carry on for a few days. I'll give you the mail.
How did you go this week? It was clearly a challenging week.
Not necessarily, to be honest. Once it come out, it's not meant to come out, so you knew you were pretty much stuffed from there. So
shoulder.
the only job was to get around the boys. There's so many boys that miss out. We have a squad of 47, so, and who's to say I would have been selected anyway. So it's a good week, it's an exciting week, and it's all worth it this week.
How'd you go not celebrating, but supporting Darcy Fort during the week?
He didn't, to be honest, he didn't need any support. He's a true professional. He was one of the hardest working blokes at our club, and he deserves every bit of his success. He's incredible. We love him. He deserves so many more opportunities. To be honest, I should be tapped on the shoulder every second week because he should be playing. He's incredible.
Big O, you're such a
There you go, Big Osc.
Lovely words from the Big O.
Superstar, very nice, very humble individual who has probably been dealt the toughest hand of the last 10 days, apart from all of the Sydney Swans players, for example. But at least it was within their reach. Yeah. They could have done something on the day. Oscar just had to sit back and watch.
Do you think because the Rock is such like a singular position, he feels more of a connection to the next guy?
That's probably...
As opposed to a forward being replaced by one of the many
you probably
people
have,
who can take their
12
spot.
to 20 different forwards who could make your side
each
week, but you've only got you or one other bloke.
That's
because I know in soccer, oftentimes the main goalkeeper
gets on
and the second goalkeeper, they're like thick as thieves.
There you
Because
go.
they'd be training together the most as well.
My favourite thing about what he said, he goes, like, who knows if I really got picked?
Yeah, just because I'm hurt.
He's getting
and
picked.
he got picked doesn't
He
mean...
got picked every day of the week. Like every year, like the whole year, every game, he's getting picked over Darcy Fort. No disrespect to Darcy, but he's an elite ruckman.
Yeah,
I really like
But I think he's fair enough because he's saying at the end of the day, Darcy was in... I mean, obviously he was injured, but yeah, Darcy was the one you should have played. That's basically what he's saying.
Yeah. As
the Big O said, you've got the mail.
Alrighty, boys, that just about brings us to the end of another episode of the MacPack podcast, 211. Good stuff.
Epic stuff.
Epic stuff, yeah.
As per usual. That's right.
The final footy chat for the year.
So tune into this week's radio show and hit us up at 047 30 30 88. Get in touch with the show, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, give us a call. 8 till 10 a.m. on Saturdays. That's when I'm going to be looking at the phone.
That's right.
Very exciting. It's nice. My calendar has completely emptied out. I don't really have anything going on in October. Which I have a very busy November, but I looked at my October calendar and I was like, I don't have anything on. Like the whole, your birthday's obviously coming up, but outside of that,
true.
Very chill one.
Fantastic.
Exciting news tomorrow. Tomorrow was zipping.
Zip lining.
Hello.
It was zipping. We mentioned this about a month ago.
So how about you guys, everyone who's listening to this on Friday, just text us 047 30 30 88 and say good luck at zip lining tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's how we'll know you're an OG.
And even if you're listening in 3 years' time,
you can say good luck at zip lining.
Might be quite. So imagine if one of us piked it, and then like you're listening to this a couple years later, and you're like, "Good luck at zip lining," and you're like,
that was a weird way to end a podcast.
"Yeah, that's the last anyone ever hears of us." But yes, we are going zip lining. We mentioned we were going to go zip lining for Mum's birthday when she was on the podcast. And weather permitting, it got cancelled because I think there was going to be like hurricane storms. And we were like, 60's good, but 60 and out, not as fun. So let's make sure that we get up in nice weather. So that's what we're getting up to tomorrow.
Yep.
We will
I'm sure
be sharing
you'll see it on the story.
Yeah, and probably on the news as well if things go terribly. We'll be sharing some stuff on the socials regarding the zip lining.
A couple of bull sharks.
The question will be like, what is more or less along the lines of what is something that you are scared of doing that you want to overcome?
That's huge.
And we'll be chatting about that on radio tomorrow. But yes, as always, or as of now, hit us up on 047 30 30 880 and get involved with the show. We've had heaps of people. We've had so many people. Just before we finish up,
That rhymes.
we've had the biggest couple of weeks of downloads for the podcast we've ever seen.
Fantastic.
We've obviously been growing and growing and growing as we go, but the last week in particular has gone absolutely boom shakalaka. So massive thank you to everyone who has been sharing it with your friends. If you haven't shared it with your friends, make sure to do so because you're in the minority by the looks of things. And yes, everyone that is joining us and they're just new to the pack, firstly, welcome. Secondly, enjoy the ride. We're going to be here this time next week, and until we are, stay safe, stay blessed, and always remember to
Go give your mum a hug.
it's Jeff for now. Bye now.